Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. Guys, I don't know about you, but man, whenever I go to the gym, I see people who are doing hours of cardio. I'm talking about almost like religiously. They're always either on the treadmill, the bike, the elliptical, or the Stairmaster. And, I've been going to the gym for years, y'all. And, when you go to a gym for a certain period of time, you start to notice, the same people in there. You know what I'm saying? And some of the same people that be doing the cardio, they had that same big old ass stomach. Let me know, have you ever thought that? Have you ever felt like, damn, I'm seeing these same people doing cardio, but why they ain't losing no weight? I thought that cardio is supposed to help you lose weight. Some of y'all are doing this. Some of y'all are going to the gym for not months, but years, and you still can't lose weight. And so I'm about to show y'all why that happens, okay? Because believe it or not, y'all, I gotta be honest. Can I be honest here? Cardio is overrated for weight loss. Yeah, I said it. I know most trainers won't say this out loud, but cardio is extremely overrated for weight loss. What I see most times that people are doing when they do cardio, what they'll try to do is they'll do 30 minutes or an hour of cardio just to burn 300 calories or 600 calories. And then they take their happy ass out the gym. Like, whoa, I got me a sweat in. Oh, I feel good about myself. And then they go eat some pasta or a burger or a big ass salad that's 1,000 calories. And they eat all the calories back up. And so it's like trying to lose weight on hard mode, guys. You can't, cardio is more so for health benefits. If you're noticing that you're sitting down and you're sedentary and you're always feeling tired, get up and go walk. Because when you get up and go walk, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel better. If you have brain fog, you walk for a good 20, 30 minutes, that brain fog magically go away, don't it? You could be in a funk. Like, I kid you not, some of y'all who, man, I just feel like I'm in a rut. I feel like I'm in a depression. If you just start walking consistently on a daily basis for 20 to 30 minutes, I bet you start feeling better. And there's so many other health benefits behind walking, okay? But I say this because a lot of people who are thinking that all they need to do is cardio to lose weight, and they're wondering why they're stuck. They're wondering why when they step on the scale ain't going down, and y'all be frustrated and discouraged. I'd be pissed off too if I'm putting in all the time and effort and I'm not getting the results. Listen, you cannot outwork poor nutrition habits. I'm not saying don't do cardio. What I'm saying is, if you're trying to do, if you're just saying to yourself, well, I'm just going to do cardio so I can eat what I want to eat, that's a lose-lose battle. Lose-lose. If you're like morbidly obese, you might be able to lose some weight. If you're, 300 plus pounds, 400 pounds, and you're in the high 200s, you might lose a little bit of weight. But if you don't prioritize your eating habits, meaning building a healthy relationship with food to be aware of how much you need to eat. Like, yes, you want to be mindful, right? You want to be eating healthy and good quality food, but if you're not eating the right amount of food, like let's say, for example, you're supposed to be eating 1,200 calories a day. Well, not 12. I'm gonna say 1,600 calories a day. But you're really eating 3,500. You're just not aware of it because you're not tracking how much you're eating. You could be doing all the cardio in the world. You could be doing hours of cardio every day. And you're going to be like, damn, man, I'm sacrificing all my favorite foods. I'm eating all this healthy food. I should be losing some weight. The reason why is because, one, you're not tracking how much you're eating. Two, you're trying to outwork your lack of clarity with nutrition. Guys, back in the days when I first got into personal training, I used to do boot camps early in the morning. I should go train, at like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. And, I was getting out the exit, and it was some police right on the exit, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, so I'm gonna drive a little slower. And so I drove through the gore, right? Y'all know the little yellow lines. At that time, I think I was about 20, 21 years old. I didn't know that it was illegal to drive through the gore. I just didn't know. But guess what? That didn't stop that police from giving me a couple of tickets. I'm like, damn. We might be getting ready to take you to jail. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? I don't even have my music up. What's happening here? He gave me all these tickets, and the reason why is because of my ignorance to not being aware. Guys, there's still consequences from ignorance. Just because you don't know, that don't mean there's not consequences. I say this to say, just because you're like, well, I don't know how to track, I don't know how to eat right, so I'm just going to do the cardio. That doesn't mean there's not going to be consequences, guys. Because if you're just doing all this cardio and you're not making nutrition a priority, not only is your weight not going to go down, not only is your weight going to fluctuate up and down, but it also starts to eat at your self-confidence and your belief that it's possible for you to lose weight. If you not going weeks but months, not seeing the weight loss, you start to kind of feel like, damn, I'm putting in all this time and effort. I don't know if I don't know. I might not be meant to lose no weight. I must be big bone. So it starts to eat at your self-confidence and belief. You know what I'm saying? It starts to eat at your will to want to keep going. That's one side of it. The second side of the consequences is if you don't get things together at some point, if you keep doing what you've been doing, your health gets worse. Your weight gets worse. Guys, things don't stay the same, man. I've been coaching for a long time now. I just had a guy who just joined my coaching program, and we spoke a year ago. And at that time we spoke a year ago, I think he was like 265, 270. And fast forward a year later, he was 305. He gained weight. Guys, guess what else happens when you start gaining weight? This is how you start developing health issues like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, sleep apnea, erectile dysfunction. You start feeling even more tired and less motivated. You see what I'm saying? And so you got to start learning. It's very important to start learning the main things that need to be. You don't have to learn all the stuff. You don't have to know all the supplements and the fat burners and the protein, but you need to be aware of like what foods your body agrees with. You need to understand how much you're eating. This is just as important as understanding how much money you make versus how much money you're spending. Because what if you spending more than you making? Your ass gonna be outside in a cardboard box somewhere, and you gonna be broke. Same thing with health and nutrition. If you are not active enough, if you're super sedentary, and you're not eating the right amount of food, you're overeating, guess what's gonna happen? That stomach gonna get big as hell. Yes, your belly gonna keep on getting bigger and bigger. You gonna keep on stepping on the scale, and the weight ain't going down. You gonna be putting on your clothes ain't fitting. You gonna be taking photos with your friends and family, and you gonna be like, damn, when did I get that big? because you're not making nutrition a priority. This is why I make majority nutrition content, because I'm one of those no bullshit coaches, man. I like to get straight to the point. Yes, you do need to work out. You do need to make dates with the weights. But if you don't get your nutrition on point, your stomach ain't going nowhere. You just gonna get strong as hell. And you might have a little bit more energy because you're moving when you do your cardio. But the weight is not gonna go down. The belly fat is not gonna go away. It could actually get bigger because you're not aware of how much you're eating. Okay? Back when I used to do in-person training, I used to train this guy named Peter Babe. He was a real estate guy out there in Midtown. And I trained this guy for about 8 years in person. And whenever we were going to the gym, getting ready to start his training session, there was this one guy who would always be on the elliptical machine, hauling ass. Like, he would be pushing it. And he would just be sweating, like dripping sweat, to the point where you didn't even want to get on the elliptical machine after him because it was just like a puddle of sweat around the whole machine. Every time I trained Peter, it was like that. After a couple of months, Peter would ask me, because Peter he was like in his mid 60s. He was like, Jay, why this guy's stomach still so big? Why this guy not losing no weight? He do all this cardio. And I'm like, Peter, his ass ain't eating right. You can't outwork poor nutrition habits. He doing all this cardio, working hard as hell in the gym, but when he go home, he is eating junk food. He is overeating. And that's why that guy's stomach would, like, the rest of his body looked in shape. He had nice, decent looking arms, nice, decent legs, belly, big as hell. Big old ass stomach. And the reason why, guys, and some of y'all like this too, he ain't eating right. You have to make it a priority, not just for like appearance, but your overall health. When your overall health starts to drop, meaning you lack energy, you're gonna start lacking motivation because you lack energy. You start developing health issues, and that kind of like, in a way, it causes the quality of your life to go down too, man. You can't do things you enjoy anymore. You start to notice, like, damn, I really don't want to go out like that because of your appearance. You feel like people judging you. Some of y'all have kids, and I've had people jump on my game plan calls or inquiring about coaching with me, and they be like, man, my kids be wanting to get out and play with me, man, and throw the football and do sports and stuff. I just be too tired, Jay. I be too tired, man. Can you imagine having children and you can't enjoy those years with them when they're kids? Because they're not going to be kids forever. Can you imagine that? Like, that would eat me up on the inside, man. Because I remember when I was growing up, my dad has a soul food restaurant. How about that? I do fitness and health coaching, and my dad got a soul food restaurant. But anyway, I remember spending hours in front of the restaurant throwing the football with my dad, like hours. Those are moments in my life I will never forget. Never. Like, even when I'm in my 40s and 50s, I'm still going to remember those moments, And so there's moments that you could be creating with your children and your family. But if you're overweight and you're tired, you have health issues, you're worried about your health because you're not making nutrition a priority, dog, man, you got to wake up. I seen a post on Instagram the other day that was like, some men wake up when they in their early 20s. Some men and women wake up when they in their 30s and 40s. Some men and women never wake up. The reason I do this content is because I'm trying to help you wake up. Before you dig yourself into such a deep hole, you start to feel hopeless. There's people out here that's like that. They feel hopeless because they dug themselves into such a deep hole. All you got to do is start learning. All right? Start being intentional with learning. What foods do I need to eat? How much calories do I need to eat? Like, the only reason you feel uncomfortable or confused or overwhelmed about calories is because you have not learned how it works. Once you learn it and not just dabble and go from meal plan to meal plan, learn this shit. You will be able to lose weight and keep it off. And once you lose this weight, a lot of the health issues like the type 2 diabetes and a lot of that stuff will go away. Because what causes a lot of those things is not just the quality of the food, but it's the weight. When you have that extra weight on your body, man, it just causes stress. Like, it's like a pipe that's has a whole lot of pressure on it. This is what y'all veins and arteries be like when you getting bigger and bigger. High blood pressure, hypertension, just because of the weight. And of course, if you're eating junk food all the time, the plaque that's building up in your arteries and veins. That's how you're supposed to be having strokes. It's very important, man. I know a lot of people, they try to downplay this type of shit. I take medication. Medication, it just maintains it. It just don't, but it's not solving the problem. That's like having a trash can in your kitchen and you smell it. You smell like, damn, this something, that trash can stink. But you just spray some Febreze on it. It's not solving the problem. You need to take the damn trash out. Same thing with these medications y'all thinking they're saving y'all. Your shit can get worse until you start to solve the problem, the root issue. You need to create a healthier relationship with food. Then do the cardio. Then make sure you're lifting weights. When you do all three of these things, I'm telling you, you'll have the body you want, the energy you want. You'll start being able to put your clothes on and be proud about how your clothes fit on you. Be able to take your shirt off and take your clothes off and you're not hating the way you look. You know what I'm saying? You're able to go out and enjoy time with family and friends without feeling like you're being judged. All right? Or climb in your career. Some of y'all, you trying to grow in your career, but you like, I don't want to get on social media and post. No, I'm a little too heavy right now. I don't want to do it. Imagine how much money you missing out on. Imagine if you was making an extra $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month because you got on social media because you felt confident about your appearance and you started making extra bread. What would you do with it? Would you take your family on more vacations? Would you buy a nice house? Would you buy your dream car? What would you do? A lot of y'all just thinking about this thing from just I want to lose the weight, I want to lose the stomach standpoint, but what is it going to give you? What is it going to give you? These are the real reasons why losing the belly fat and losing the weight is important. All right, but make nutrition a priority. Start making dates with the weights and cardio. You need to be doing that 3-4 days a week. All right, you do these things, you get that stomach on flat. Other than that, we out of here. Let go. Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable. And if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.